lost.
This is where I came from, John. The Dharma Initiative.
We're not supposed to leave. Jacob, this is John.
We have to go back, Kate. If you phone her boat, every single living person on this island will be killed.
This is the Lost Initiative from Sky One.
We have to go back!
A new hatch, a very lovesick Ben, a VHS videotape, and a girl fight. It's episode 6, The Other Woman. I'm Iain Lee, and this is The Lost Initiative.
The Lost Initiative with Iain Lee.
Joined as always by someone I'd like to call a friend of mine. It's Paul Terry, editor of Lost Magazine.
Hello, friend of mine, Iain Lee.
Someone who I will never call a friend of mine. But it's your birthday today. Geeky Tom, happy birthday.
Hey! I'm not even your friend, even though it's my birthday.
Yes. How old are you? We're not interested.
Oh, unbelievable.
Now, let's start with Juliet's flashback, where we learn that Ben's feelings towards her are not entirely healthy, which is clear when he takes her to see Goodwin's dead body.
You knew this would happen. You sent him out here because you knew this would happen. You wanted this. You wanted him to die. Why?
Why? You're asking me why? After everything I did to get you here, after everything I've done to keep you here, how can you possibly not understand?
That was a bit cold, wasn't it?
Ooh.
To go and see Goodwin's dead body.
He's getting very sort of Anthony Hopkins, very Clarice, isn't he? He's getting very creepy.
Gone back to how he was in Series 2 when we knew him as Henry Gale, and he was a bit creepy,
Yeah.
a little bit evil, and a little bit nasty.
Most creepy bit when she's doing her work, looking through the microscope, and he's checking her out, and it's just wrong.
Oh, yeah!
Really, like, excruciating.
Who does she look like?
That was mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Harper says
She looks
that,
like somebody.
Ben is smitten with you because you look just like her.
Do you reckon it was that girl that Ben liked?
His
when he
childhood sweetheart.
Yeah.
Was that Annie?
Annie?
Yeah, I think
with
it was Annie.
Okay.
Well, she was like 8 or something.
Maybe she grows up.
It was not. She doesn't look like her mum, his mum, does she?
No.
There was
No,
not at all.
I wouldn't say so.
I don't think he'd have an infatuation about his mother.
Have you ever heard of the work of Freud, for God's sakes? It's a comment. We all want to sleep
It's
with our
me.
mums.
It's me.
Very
No,
strong
no.
psychological complex, isn't he? So, you know.
I didn't like seeing him in love with someone. It's like
It kind of, it
When your
spoils
best-
his facade, doesn't it, of evil
it's
maestro.
horrible. And when that whole stuff about the ham, when he's cooking the ham for her, it was.
It was a bit awkward when she brought the
Imagine.
bread.
All right, here we go. Imagine doing it with Ben. Just for a second.
What, right now?
No.
No.
It was good start to the show, though. Good that we all thought it was a flash forward.
Very clever little flip there. Liking
it
that.
was good.
Because I think the flash forward is a cop-out to be used this regular as it has been. So it was nice that it was set up as a flash forward, but then it turns out it's a flash backward.
Indeedy.
Tom, what did you think to Juliet's flashback in general? Any thoughts on it?
We know now why she hates Ben.
Well, tell us.
Because Ben went and got Goodwin killed.
Is that the only reason she hates him? Because Ben has kept her prisoner on the island. How long has she been on the island for? She's been there for a couple of years, hasn't she, by that stage?
Yeah, I missed a reference to the time, but it's longer than 6 months.
Because it's supposed to be 6 months, but she's been there for years, so that would be another reason to hate her.
Of course, that does,
I think being shown the corpse of your ex-lover
That
is...
was way harsh. And in fairness, I thought someone was saying in fairness to Ben, but he wouldn't have known that Goodwin would have been killed by the tail section, really.
No.
He wanted him to just go away for a few weeks, didn't he, really?
When she said, well, you knew this would happen, he sort of went, yeah, so what? Don't mess with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he did know that they were...
Oh, yeah, maybe he looked at all the profiles of the tail section and thought, actually, yeah, Anna Lucia,
but
short fuse.
I don't know, maybe... I'm going to go back to the whole time travel thing, because I love doing that.
Good lad, well done.
Maybe that he is travelling back in time for olden time. He knows exactly how it's all going to play out. And he knows exactly what to do.
Oh, like that. Yeah, good that.
He has this big plan. He always has a plan.
I had a brilliant theory about Lost in the Week.
Go on then.
I've forgotten it.
Oh.
And this is for anyone
Go back and think of it.
No, for anyone listening to this, if you think you have a theory, write it down, because I wish I'd written it down, because I think I solved the mystery of Lost and I've forgotten it. Totally forgotten
Unbelievable.
it. Terrible, isn't it? Shameful, really.
Yeah.
Moving on to Ben and Locke, and they've done a deal. Ben goes free if he answers some questions, which he does with the help of a video.
This is Charles Widmore. This is the man whose boat is parked offshore. This is the man that's been trying to find the island.
Who's the man in the blindfold?
One of my people that had the misfortune to get caught.
How does Widmore know about the island?
I don't know.
but he does.
So the boat is Charles Widmore's.
Who? What? Jim Robinson?
Jim Robinson.
It's a good shorthand.
We guessed that last week.
It, hadn't we?
Yeah.
We'd said that was probably the case, but this is actual confirmation.
Absolutely.
Okay, why is that Widmore's boat? Why has he got a boat there?
Ben doesn't. Well, he says he doesn't know. I think he probably does. I think it leads back to when we see him bidding on that book in the auction house.
Oh, but that's the log from the
Black
captain
Rock.
of the Black Rock.
Yeah. So he blatantly knows there's something about the island. Maybe it is the healing powers which Ben speaks of. I think it's time travel. He wants to get the powers.
He knows that the island exists and that it has some potentially has some time travel magical powers.
Absolutely.
But Penny has been doing research on the island as well. Is there any connection? But here's my thought. That Penny is a two-faced, two-timing little biatch.
No,
and that
don't go down that road.
That she is stitching Desmond up. She's in this with her dad.
No.
And there will be a great reveal that, yes,
That's good.
that Jim Robinson sent Desmond off to find the island, and that Penny is somehow linked with
awesome.
with this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
works.
good, isn't it?
That'd be a really good reveal at the end of the season. It's like,
Would be great. Would be great.
It would, but
It
it
was
would
me
be
all along.
completely crushing emotionally. It would be horrible.
Good. I
for
want to see
Desmond.
Desmond would be in tears.
You don't want to see Desmond in
I
tears.
do, actually.
Put
Yeah.
your
It
hands
would be
up
good.
if you want to see
Yeah.
Desmond in tears. You're both so evil. I can't believe you, Lee.
I love Desmond. He's my
Jesus.
favourite, and I was saying earlier on that I would actually go gay for Desmond. But it would be a brilliant twist.
It would be a
Penny
good twist.
was a
Granted, it would be a
backstabber.
good twist because I'm rooting for them big time, and you know.
It seems hard to believe that she would have no knowledge of her father looking for that island. It seems a bit of a stretch, doesn't it?
But they seem like the sort of theme of fathers being dissociated with their children in the show. They don't seem very close. You know, when
No.
Desmond was going to ask father for hand in marriage and all that kind of stuff.
We've not really seen that much interaction between Penny and Jim Robinson at all, have we? So we
assumption
don't
on my
know.
part, but yeah, fair play.
The video, he taped over the Red Sox video that he showed to, what's his name, Jack?
Yeah.
I'm annoyed about that. I thought he was going to show him the Red Sox and go, and actually, here's the conclusive, explanation of the time
It's
difference.
the last quarter.
But I thought, I was annoyed he taped over it. That's annoying.
Well, I was excited with what we saw, though.
It was
shaky cam
He
footage.
could have filmed it after it. He could have
Jim
got
Robinson
another.
shooing somebody.
He could have got a
giving
different videotape. Why has he got one tape?
He did give him a
proper-
good kick in, didn't he?
Doesn't get a high goon to do that. Does the dirty work himself.
And
I like
that has to be respected in
Yeah.
Evil People.
In
Yeah.
gangster
Yeah.
law.
Yeah. When do you think that the recording was made then? This is the whole time thing.
Yeah.
It must be fairly recently.
Well, it has to be after they held Jack in the Hydra, because that was the tape that they used that you recorded over.
Ah, good one.
So it's
About a season ago.
a couple of episodes.
I get confused about. But that works out as, I don't know, maybe 15 days or something. I've got great trouble following the timeline.
season 3 felt like less time than the other seasons, didn't it?
Yeah.
Season 3
Yeah.
was what? I don't know. 2 weeks.
But they've been there roughly for 97 days or something.
Yeah.
Jack would have watched the Red Sox video roughly, and this is very roughly. Please don't email in and say I've got it wrong. About, I don't know, 40 days ago, 30 days ago, something like that. So it's within the last month.
Yeah, definitely
can
within
say
the last
safely.
month. I would say a month ago. Yeah, at the most.
There's a fella getting a kick in who is one of Ben's people.
Yeah.
How has Ben got his people to infiltrate the Widmore experience?
But maybe, like someone on the boat, he's got people in there. He's got people within Widmore Industries.
I don't think it's
That's what I'm
hard to
saying.
infiltrate a company, to be honest. Really.
How did Ben know that Widmore was trying to find the island? We have to imagine he has people all over the world that are doing his bidding and are keeping their eyes out. So I guess...
Yeah, maybe there's people who are waiting to hear if anybody's interested in finding the Black Rock ship
Yeah,
or the
maybe
island.
there's-
Any little strands.
Well, maybe there's only a few items in the world that can actually identify the island
Yeah.
where it is. Maybe the book's one of them. Anybody interested in that book?
red flag.
Yeah, it's-
Here's something. Supposing Jim Robinson somehow has similar powers to Richard Alpert in that he doesn't age.
Oh, no.
That he doesn't age, and Okay, here you go.
All right.
He was on the Black Rock.
Jim Robinson.
I like that.
Come on.
How about him and Ben work together, or him and Richard Alpert work
What are
together
you
before?
talking about?
Well, no,
There's obviously a connection between him and Ben. I
Yeah.
won't be surprised if in a future episode, probably in Series 6,
Right.
that the two of them meet and they go, it's been a long time. They're
Exactly, yeah, that's-
they
yeah.
must have met
All
in the
right.
past.
I
Brothers.
like that, but I don't like the fact they were both... That Black Rock theory was
Okay,
rubbish.
that was a little bit rubbish, but
Yeah.
but we got somewhere good in the end that they've met before and they've
Yeah.
worked together in the past.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I like
they
that.
have
I do like
colluded
that.
before.
Now Locke asks about the man on the boat, and Ben replies, "All right, but you might want to sit down."
It's Columbo.
It was
That was Columbo.
One final thing, Sarah, before you go.
Who is the man?
Who's on the
boat?
man on the boat?
Who's on the
He's
man
got a
on the
man
boat?
on the boat.
Yes.
Who
Who
is
is it?
that man on the boat? I kept on saying it was a pilot, didn't I?
Yes.
What, the time travel thing
Yeah.
with a different dimension of the pilot?
Well, we had someone phone in the other week.
He said it was Michael.
Said it was
That's
Michael.
a really good theory.
You poo-pooed the theory, Paul Terry.
Yeah.
He said absolutely categorically that it was definitely not Michael on the boat.
Well, I can never be sure. I can't say definitely.
But
I'm
it
saying
was the way it was set up, where Ben said, you might want to sit down, it made me think, well, it has to be Michael. There's no one else. We keep seeing Harold Perrineau's name in the opening titles. He's going to be in it at some point.
I must admit, the gravitas of which he set that up to set it to lock suggests that this is a big reveal.
And it's got to be somebody that he knows as well.
Well, yeah,
hence
exactly.
the whole sitting down.
This was episode 6, wasn't it? So we've got 2 more episodes before we have the break.
If Locke's dad wasn't killed, that's the kind of thing you'd say, you better sit down.
Yes.
As in, it's your dad.
Yeah.
So, exactly. It sounds like it's somebody that he has, previous experience with.
To be Michael. I am prepared to bet £1 million it has to be Michael.
Okay, good.
Okay, anyone?
Nice one.
Okay.
Have you got $1 million?
And speaking of millions, because Locke mentioned the $3.2 million.
Oh,
as well,
I like that.
And that got a funny reaction from Ben, didn't it?
because it sort of seems like the poker face got, slightly jarred when he threw that in
There's
there.
something about that money, that specific amount of money, that is, I don't know, it's unnerving to Ben.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. 3.2 million.
Okay, we have an email from Scott. I think that Miles is not actually against Ben, but in fact that was just a front that he put on for Kate. I think that Miles got Kate to let him see Ben in order to pass a message on. The message came from the boat. Ben claimed to have a person on the boat. We just discussed that. I think this person is Michael. Okay. First of all, Miles needed to make sure that Ben was aware of who he was. This is why he asked if he knew who he was working for and knew who he was. Ben then...
I'm lost
It gets
already.
more confusing.
I'm lost.
Ben then knew that he had been sent by Michael from the boat. When Miles told Ben that he wanted 3.2 million, this was in fact just a code. Ben had to make sure that this was the correct code, and he did this by saying, why not 3.3 or 3.4? And Miles then confirmed it was 3.2.
Really? This is sounding great, actually. I know where he's going with this.
3.2 just happened to be the point on the dial in the helicopter when Desmond started slipping in between the past and the present. 3.2 is the compass.
The vector.
That's not bad, actually. Forget the fact it's
I
written
like that a lot
terribly.
because we've forgotten the whole thing about coding conversations, like, tell my sister I love her.
Yeah.
So, him hammering 3.2 million could just be passing on a secret code as in, do this within a week for me, rather than talking about money. Yeah.
Tom, what do you think?
That's good.
Well,
it is good, isn't it?
But if that is good. But if it is true, that would mean that the boat was sent by Ben, not Widmore.
Well, no. What it means is that Miles has been sent by Michael, that Michael has somehow infiltrated Miles. And, I do apologise. Oh, excuse me.
How old are we?
There's a hatch I hope we don't get to see. But that Michael has somehow got to Miles and is saying, getting Miles to pass on messages. Doesn't mean that he's behind the boat or anything.
Wait a minute as well. Miles, as far as we know, isn't he still
got a hand grenade in his mouth?
I just thought I'd mention that in case
was that last week or the week before?
That would have been a whole 48 hours ago.
He stood in someone's
He still
shed
stood there
with a live grenade in his mouth,
sweating with a grenade in his mouth.
To the lads.
Yeah, I don't think I could hold a grenade for that long.
No.
Which anyway, if you want to send an email to us, you're more than welcome to. Send it to lost@sky1.co.uk. Lost@sky1.co.uk.
The Lost Initiative with Iain Lee.
Back to Juliet, who, while looking for Daniel and Charlotte, bumps into a face from the past.
What are you doing here?
I came to deliver a message from Ben. The 2 people you're looking for, Faraday and Lewis, they're headed to the Tempest. And if they figure out how to deploy that gas, then everyone on this island is going to die.
Why don't you stop them?
Because Ben wants you to go.
How can Ben possibly know where they are when he's a prisoner?
Ben is exactly where he wants to be.
I'm having trouble remembering this.
Right.
When was Ben separated from the rest of the others?
When he joined them with the Purge, wasn't it? When he saw them as a child, then he went back.
No. But I mean, the end of series 3.
Oh, sorry, right.
When he gets.
He sends a few of the others to go to the tents, then they'll get blown up with the bombs, and the rest of the others have been sent towards, he says, the temple.
So they've been sent to the temple. That's where the others, the majority
of people,
of the others are
and then he's left with our
I'm
castaways.
picturing Jack hitting him repeatedly around the face.
Yes. That was
that's a strong memory.
So Ben has been captured for about 4 or 5 days.
Right.
Yeah, I would say.
How did he get a message to Harper?
Oh, hang on! Didn't you say something the other week about how he asked?
It was Alex
and
Rousseau to do a favour for him.
2 of the 3 to do a favour for him. Maybe that was it. Maybe run to the temple, deliver the message, send someone back. But
how did she appear and disappear so quickly?
You mentioned that she did appear, and there were lots of whispers. I think we can have a listen to the whispers now.
Oh, I love the whispers.
Okay, well, I made out 4 different voices, 2 women, 2 men. Something along the
Sarah,
different
there's
channels.
somebody at the door.
Was it? I heard there's somebody coming.
Where do you get this from? All I hear is.
Can we listen? Let's listen to it again. Let's focus. Let's all just focus now. Go into a zen.
Close your eyes, Tom.
Zen state. Here we go.
Jack?
Did one of you just say, Sarah, there's somebody coming? Did you just say it?
Yeah.
No, did you say it when that was playing?
No.
Oh, then I definitely heard it now. Sorry, I had my eyes closed. I heard it. I took one headphone off, and I heard it really, really clearly.
I
Sarah, there's
heard
somebody coming.
at the end a different voice say, let us in, just as it went, Jack.
No, if it was let us in, that would be the reference to Jacob's shack. That seems to be where the whispers perhaps are possibly emanating from, because when Hurley found the shack, there was lots of whispers and all that kind of crazy stuff.
If it is Sarah, this is the whole freaky thing of obviously Jack's ex-wife,
Jack's wife, isn't it?
Which
Yeah.
is, and then there's a connection to Christian Shepherd. So,
Tom, did you hear anything that
No,
time?
absolutely nothing. All I heard were probably a bunch of members of the sound team over at Lost having a laugh.
Well, do you know what? I think the whispers may have started off as something like that, but I think that as the Lost mythology has grown, I think they have to. The whispers have to contain something.
well, there are
But
websites where they've analysed all of them.
And
Seriously.
I've read them, and none of them make any sense.
We did have this. I remember the last time the 3 of us listened to some whispers, and Tom, you were very quiet during that, almost as
I know.
if you
Terrifying,
Didn't,
yeah.
you didn't spot anything at all, and we struggled, didn't we?
But we heard things which weren't on the analysis of the email. We heard different phrases, didn't we? So,
yes, I mean, with these things, I think you can fill in the blanks. Can we listen to it one more time? And may I suggest that you all take your right headphone off, and just slip it behind your ear,
Right.
and that, and
Comfy.
I heard Sarah. There's something. Let's do it one more time. There.
It's there. You totally hear it.
All right.
Did you hear it that time?
Yeah, I did.
And it's a bloke saying it, so
Jack?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When you got it in one channel, you can hear it.
It's somebody's coming.
So Sarah's the only
you
Sarah
go.
we know is Jack's ex-wife. There's been no others, I don't think. It could be
no.
another character, but it would be odd
Could
of them
be.
to introduce someone else called Sarah.
yeah.
Okay, well, let's assume it's Jack's wife. What do you make of that, Paul?
Pretty huge if it is, but probably the most massive thing.
What,
if,
Jack's wife just floating around going, whispering in people's ears?
No, the fact that she's connected to the mythology in a greater way, which is I would never have assumed.
Why not?
I don't know, just this relationship that we've seen before in flashbacks. Like you said before about the way we're led down certain paths of, Lost, and then it's a huge red herring and...
The whispers annoy me. They really annoy me.
No, they're one of my favourite things about the show.
You are wrong on that, Tom.
They're really
I
cool.
don't mind being wrong.
If they weren't there, it would be less,
I
it
like
would be
them,
more
but they
of a
annoy
drama.
me because you try and get meaning when there is no meaning.
Yeah, but we're getting more of a sense of when they occur, something unusual, a phenomenon
all right.
happens, like the
so
monster,
like when it started with raining, we knew something bad is going to happen.
Just something a bit weird.
Yeah.
Who was the first person to encounter them? Was it Saeed back in season 1? I'm sure it was Saeed near Rousseau's shack when he wandered into the dark territory.
Getting on with this episode, let's go to Daniel and Charlotte. Why didn't Ben just get Harper to kill Daniel and Charlotte instead of getting her to go and...
Maybe you can only go back in time for a certain amount of...
You're convinced that she's gone back in time?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, maybe the machine only sends them back for 10 seconds.
What
or something.
machine, sorry?
I'm picturing
By
some...
the temple?
I'm picturing some door that they walk through.
You're wrong, because the time travel we've established is a time travel of consciousness as opposed to a physical time
Yeah,
travel.
But I think
they
that
figured-
the consciousness is only when it's kind of like a side effect. It's not the actual proper time travel. I think they've harnessed the proper time travel.
No, that's
No,
rubbish.
because Desmond from on the freighter stayed in the same place.
Yeah.
His body was there.
I know,
He was
and
just passed out.
that was a side effect. I think they can actually manifest the whole body back in the past.
Oh, you mean that Desmond didn't
like-
experience that, but they can do that?
That was like a side effect happening to Desmond. It's not like the full-blown whack of time travel.
The full whammy.
Yeah, I think it's like a kind of side effect to the island. I think they have a door somewhere and they walk through
box.
it. Or big lightning electrodes.
Right, well,
That's what I did with the rabbits.
I'm going to stop
Don't
you
let
there,
them
Tom, 'cause
touch. Don't let them
I'm
touch
gonna stop you
each
there,
other.
Tom, you're talking guff. Harper says Ben is exactly where he wants to be.
Worrying, yeah.
He's always got a plan. He said that. Is it because he feels safe there? Is it because he's got like a secret arsenal of weapons? He's manipulating John Locke. He's getting John Locke is wrapped around his little finger.
That's what he's
Locke
doing.
doesn't recognise it.
Big thing, well, not massive thing, but when way back, beginning of the season, when he said to Jack, with great respect, Jack, I like to go with John, implying that he trusted what John was saying to go back to the barracks, but that would imply, obviously, that looking back at that, he needed to be at the barracks.
He needed to be at the barracks, and also that he can manipulate John. He can't manipulate Jack because Jack don't give a stuff. Jack will just punch the bejesus out of him, but he can manipulate John quite easily. Yeah,
and
very well.
he's kind of feeding this information, isn't he? Maybe it's misinformation. the whole Widmore being evil, this is the man.
It seems a bit surprising that he said, "Oh, that folder there's got everything I know about Charles Widmore. That's my final
Aren't
card."
the best
to play,
lies always kind of started with a truth or something?
I don't know, Paul. Are they?
Possibly.
We mentioned is Widmore good or bad? I mean, he looks bad because he was giving someone a good drink.
I got a feeling that he's actually good. Actually, thinking about it
they've
now.
done this so many times, haven't they?
Yeah.
With the show where you think the others are
Yeah.
this band of creepy evildoers who creep around in the shrub, and then they're actually all got consciences and they're all really
We
moral.
have started
and,
to come and trust the others and Ben's people as though, well, actually, maybe they're not quite as bad as we're led to believe. But Widmore, he could have had to have exploited Desmond and been nasty to Desmond to get Desmond to the place where he wants him to be.
Maybe.
And he was pretty compliant with the phone number, wasn't he? In the gents when he said, "Oh, there you go, there's the phone number."
Well, no, yeah, but he knew that Penny, his job was done. Penny hated him.
Okay, well, Charlotte and Daniel deactivate. This is another thing that might imply that Widmore is a good guy. They've deactivated the gas. We were all led to believe they were going to go off and launch the gas so that everyone on the island was obliterated, so they could come and storm the island and do whatever they wanted to do. They've deactivated the gas, which could mean that they're not quite as bad as we were led to believe.
Yeah, exactly. And Ben is, maybe because we are kind of getting to know Ben more and more, and we tend to forget that he shot John Locke through the stomach. And
exactly.
He's done all, he gassed like 100 people.
But we forget a lot of
people.
details, like Goodwin, however much it showed the romance with Juliet. He did snap some bloke's neck when he infiltrated the tower station. They have got this side to them
This
which is
ruthless
pretty
side
ruthless and vicious, and it's completely uncompromising.
I think that's the skill of the show, though, is to make you think one thing and then reveal actually it's your perception of it is completely completely wrong.
Tom, was it you upstairs that came up with the theory about when Daniel was typing stuff in the computer, maybe he was trying to remember something?
Yeah, it looked like, cause, he was playing all those cards, and it looked like he was trying to test his memory, and I thought again of time travel, and then kind of poo-pooed it myself.
I think there's something in that he's learnt the code in the future.
But he'd have to be on the island if it is a straight consciousness swap that he's invented. But maybe if they actually have invented some kind of transport.
Or maybe he's related to that machine or the code, like he remembers writing that code for that kind of machine at some point, and then has to remember. That's why he's chosen for the job, because he has to.
Sorry, I keep on getting interrupted.
Well, I'm going to stop you, Paul, and I'm going to go to Tom.
That's what you're here for, Ian. Brilliant.
Yes.
He didn't think he could do it. She goes, "Oh no, of course he can, of course he can."
We thought that they were talking about killing everybody, but it was just
him remembering that huge line of code that he was inputting into that machine.
Wasn't really worth coming over to you for that. How did they know about the Tempest? I felt that was a little bit shoehorned in, to be honest.
And the way they just walked up to it, and it's really kind of amazing.
And how
and
did
rubbish.
Jack and Kate suddenly find it? Oh, she's gone to the Tempest. Quick, let's go there then.
They did keep on showing all these bunkers, like, more and more.
Yeah.
Remember the big map of all the bunkers?
Oh yes, is it on the one?
Surely we're running out of bunkers.
How many have we had? That's an interesting thing.
Yeah. How many have we had?
Was the Tempest even
the Swan, the Pearl?
Was the Tempest even on that map?
Well, they can do anything. Can't
Wasn't the Swan supposed to be the power source? Or was that just something that we made up?
I don't think it was supposed to be the power source.
How did Daniel and Charlotte know about the Tempest? They must know more about this island.
Well, that seemed to be their main mission, wasn't it?
And
they did have a map,
and the map looked really similar to the ones that Russo had in her cabin.
Yes, and Sai had one, didn't he, with something? Yeah,
some of that.
Oh, good. Fair play, good point.
Thanks.
Juliet says if there's a war, Ben will win. She seems quite sure about that. Is it just because he's been a manipulative?
I'd agree with that in a slightly worrying way, though, that he does appear to always have the upper hand, even when he's bound up and beaten.
Now, Juliet says that when Ben does win, she doesn't want Jack to be anywhere near her because Ben knows the way she feels about him. That means he's going to revenge kill her, is he?
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
It's an honour killing on Juliet.
Yeah.
Because she hates him, he loves her, wants to do it and stuff. He's going to kill her.
But I now think that Juliet is genuinely in love with Jack. But I don't think that Jack reciprocates it, because when he did the kiss, exactly. But when he hugged her, there seemed that awkward kind of I still like Kate.
I think Ben and Juliet in cahoots.
I'm erring on the side of Tom.
I'd hate it to be true. It'd be a great twist, but it would be fairly crushing. So if that was true.
We've got a caller on the lost line. It's Laura. Hello, Laura.
Hiya.
Laura, it's Geeky Tom's birthday today. Do you have any special message for him?
Happy birthday.
Good one. What have you got for us, Laura?
Okay, I've got a thought on the Oceanic 6.
Yes.
The 4 that we know of so far were all on the other side of the island when the hatch imploded.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe that's why the others can't get off the island, because they were too close to the hatch and were hit by a dose of electromagnetism. And maybe they start suffering the same problems that Desmond has when he starts leaving the island.
There's something in that, but the people who the four that we know about so far, they did see the sky turn pink. But you think because everyone else was so close to it, they can't leave the island anymore?
I'm thinking that might be a reason because I was thinking maybe that's what happened to Claire.
Yeah.
Because Desmond says to Charlie that he's seen Claire and Aaron get on a helicopter, getting off the island.
Oh, yes,
and as far as we know, the future hasn't been changed.
Yeah.
Charlie died.
Yeah.
So what if they're both on the helicopter and Claire starts suffering the same unstuck in time
That's a good point.
It's good.
and side effects?
That's a brilliant point. But then how would that explain Aaron being one of the Oceanic Six, if indeed it is Claire's baby?
Yeah, the question is maybe because A, he was born on the island, or possibly because a baby's mind is maybe not affected in the same way.
And didn't, actually saying that, didn't Charlie get them some antidote or something? If that bottle of
Yeah,
vaccine?
I'm not sure, but didn't Claire herself also shoot up with that? So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's what they've given Aaron, if they've protected him somehow.
Okay, Laura, here's the question then. Who are the Oceanic Six?
It would have to be, if the theory is correct, either Jim's son, possibly Michael or Walt. Those are the only ones I can think of that were far enough away from the beach when they had
So let's go through. So we've got Kate, we've got Jack, we've got Hurley, we've got Saeed, and you think it could be Jin or Son or Walt?
Yeah,
Okay.
or possibly Michael.
Hey, who do you think is the person on the boat?
I think it's Michael.
It's got to be Michael, hasn't it?
It's got to be. I mean, there was the
got to
whole
be.
thing, and then talking to Locke and saying, you're going to wait till you hear this. It has to be somebody they know. And it has to be Michael, possibly with Walt. I mean, I don't know how Ben's communicating.
Yeah.
If there's something with Walt, and we don't know what happened to him when he was being brainwashed.
Well, hang on a second. Let's just discuss. Tom, what do you think? I think what
thought
Laura's
that
saying
was
makes sense.
That was top notch, actually. I'm very impressed.
Is that all you have to say?
Yeah, no, that's
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah,
Just
we've not discussed the implosion thing for a long time. I mean,
Because
that was really
obviously,
smart.
the people who are nearer to it, Desmond was the nearest. It's affected him incredibly, and it's affected Locke and Echo, who are quite near to it. So you would assume that people within the blast radius will get a dose
It's
of
good.
Absolutely.
And the polar bears that were nearby went crazy. So, you know.
Laura, have you got anything else for us?
Oh, that's just about it.
Well, in that case, we'll say thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Laura. Bye.
We've got an email, and I like this one. I have a very interesting theory, which sprouted from Ian Lee's theory that the illness Rousseau talked about was the time travel side effects. Rousseau said when she arrived at the island, she heard the numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 56. I'm joking, it's 42. So let's assume her whole crew knew of the numbers. If her team were time-travelling like Desmond was in The Constant, I think that Leonard, the man who repeats the number over and over to Hurley in the mental institution, was on Rousseau's crew. The Leonard we see in the mental institution will be the earlier or later version of Leonard that the Leonard on the island would travel to and from. I'll let you do the rest of the discussing on this theory, as I'd rather not, in fear of damaging my own mental health.
It's good.
Well, I don't understand it. Explain it
I
to
think
me.
he means...
Was there a Leonard on Rousseau's crew then?
We don't know.
We don't know, but I think he's saying that Leonard is the same condition that we've witnessed with George Minkowski and Desmond. The reason why he's all kooky and, you know...
He has to to get the same condition as Desmond, he has to physically be in this other place.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He must have some former time or something been on the island. He does that thing about, which I said a while ago, about saying you've opened the box.
But
you've opened the box.
But
which
Leonard
is,
didn't
you know,
get the numbers from... Well, Leonard got the numbers from that man... Hurley goes to see this woman with a really bad Australian accent in the desert, doesn't he? And that's where the numbers came from, isn't it?
The man that killed himself with a shotgun said that he'd gone to the island or something. Don't you remember?
Did he say he'd gone to the island?
Maybe he'd heard the numbers being called over and over in a signal.
He got them from some kind of signal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Some kind of relay. But
God, it's so bad.
it's so long ago, actually. Yeah, it's such a long time ago. But
Well, I not bad there. What's this?
I quite like the idea that
Matthew
if the Santa Rosa Mental Institute is connected in some way to the condition of instability, unstuck in time.
Oh, because what's her name's in there?
Keep it going.
What's the lady with the funny eyes?
Yeah,
What's her name? Hurley's bird. What's she called?
Libby.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is a
So
brilliant
she's
thing.
unstuck in time.
She's unstuck in time. She's dead now. Got a bullet in her belly.
But is she?
Well, yes.
Ooh. No, in that dimension, but maybe.
But she met. Oh,
This is
she's
so-
got a
this is
connection.
good.
She's got a connection with Widmore because she just bumps into Desmond and gives Desmond the boat.
Exactly the right
She's
money.
under the pay of Widmore.
Yeah.
She's been to the island. She's gone mental. That's why she's in the mental institution and she's jumping back and forth.
Maybe
in time.
it's no coincidence that she was in, 3 or 4 people's flashbacks.
Yes.
And we haven't seen a flashback of her own, obviously, because she died on the island.
I reckon
but,
she'll
you
be
know.
back. She will be back.
That'd be good.
She's in the pay of Widmore. It all comes from Widmore.
So is he good or bad? Or is he just a the island?
I don't know. I'd like to, I'm erring on the side of thinking that Widmore's good.
Yeah, I am too.
That he's doing this all for a good cause, but he's manipulated so many people. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out he's manipulated more people that we know about on the island already.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Good.
We've got another call on the Lost line. Oh dear. It's the Badger. Hello, the Badger.
Hello, Mr. Lee, you alright?
I'm alright. What have you got for us then, the Badger?
Well, a few thoughts. I'll start with perhaps Walt and Michael, I reckon.
Please do.
I think we'll be seeing them perhaps in a flash forward rather than any past incidents. Purely because of, Walt's grown a bit older now, so...
Do you think that perhaps Michael could perhaps be the person on the boat?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that. I think that could be a very good twist towards the middle of the series.
Yeah.
It would make a lot of sense. Have Ends figured out a way of bringing him back to the freighter or something like that.
Badge, what about Walt? What's your theories on him?
I don't know if Walt will be there. I definitely reckon he's taken again into the undercovers of
the undercovers of what?
Yes. Okay, well, we're running out of time, the Badger. So what else have you got for us?
I honestly reckon that this freighter team are going to somehow end up getting lost or remaining on the island, or perhaps all getting murked. I don't know. They're all going to get killed.
Did you just say murked?
He said murked. Yes, it's street
I
slang.
was just double checking.
Street slang for getting
murked.
Right.
Yeah,
nice one.
I think they're going to lose the coordinates of the island. That's why the black geezer is after trying to find out where they've all gone, where they all are.
Well, the Badger, thanks for talking to us.
All
Thanks,
right,
Badger.
Bye.
Back to the den.
Well, if you've got a theory you'd like to share with us, either via an email or on the Lost Line, then get in touch at lost@sky1.co.uk. And if you want to come on the Lost Line, obviously send us your phone number and tell us a bit about what you want to talk about. That's it. Paul Terry, thank you.
Thank you.
Geeky Tom, it's your birthday. What are you doing tonight to celebrate?
It's
a bit late now.
It's your birthday.
Going to get at Sheffield, probably. Go and have a few drinks.
Oh, well, enjoy you. Sheffield, look out. There's going to be one extra geek in town. Next week, episode 7, Ji-Yon, is next Sunday, the 16th of March, Sky 1 at 9pm. That's going to be
Jin episode.
Are we going to see some sun action?
I think the title suggests there could be some
a Korean connection.
Some Korean-based connection.
And don't forget, if you miss it on the telly, you can watch it on Sky anytime, sponsored by Lost, the video game, available now on PS3, Xbox 360 and the PC. Find out more at lostgame.com. We'll be back straight after it's been on the telly. Until then, I'm Iain Lee. That was the Lost Initiative. Tom, it's your birthday. You can do it.
Okay, namaste, my friends.
Yeah, don't take the mic.
I was trying my best.
The Lost Initiative is a co-ink production for Sky One.